Well, good morning. Seems to be a fairly okay morning. It's a little chilly this morning. It's minus 15. I think now that it's getting light, about 8:30. Do you see a puppy? Yeah, now that it's getting light, about 8:30. I think we're gonna have to start dialing back the auxiliary light in the chicken coop. Right now it runs till 9 a.m. So we'll give it a couple more weeks and then we'll probably dial it back a half an hour at a time. But for now, we're gonna check on the new chickens that we wrangled up yesterday. They're in the little chicken house. Well, it looks like everybody's happy and healthy and had a great night. That's good news. Isn't it, Charlotte? Yeah. All right, so we're just in behind the chicken house here now with the no-freeze chicken water. This is a conventional vacuum style water with some heat tape wrapped around it, some insulation. And you can see the tray does freeze up. But right where the spigot comes out, that actually stays defrosted so the chickens can still go in there, dip their beak, get a drink. So today, like, it's minus 15. This is probably the coldest it's really been since we put this outside. And we are expecting it to get to minus 20. That's gonna be the real test, is can we keep this spigot defrosted when it gets down to that temperature. Just over here at the pig pen, and I know you guys can't see this because it's a long way away, but way down there in the gap in the trees, there's actually a family of moose that came to visit, so that's super cool. We actually get quite a bit of wildlife here. Not only like ungulates like deer and elk and moose and stuff, but a lot of wild birds that come in. The whole lake and everything is like a migratory bird habitat. So really, really cool living here. So, you guys got any good donkey stories to tell me? Oh, Elsie's got one. What about you, ER? Yeah? Is that right? I don't know if that's true or not. What do you got to say for yourself, Gus? Nothing but shenanigans out here, eh? The other thing I got to do, and this is going to be when Little Miss goes for a nap, is build a ramp. So when we go to load the pigs in the horse trailers and pigs, the two are not designed for one another. So I need to build a ramp. So I saw an idea on Justin Rhodes' channel on YouTube, which he got from Joel Salatin's book, Polyface Designs. And yeah, I'm totally gonna plagiarize it because it's just 2x6s all in a row with some couple of cross braces and some handles to help position it. So very, very simple design. And I think it's gonna be, well, it's gonna make our life a heck of a lot easier when it comes to loading those pigs. All right, so Charlotte's down for a nap. What does that mean? Well, it means we've got anywhere from 10 minutes to 2.5 hours to work on a project. So who knows what that's gonna look like. But animal welfare first, so I'm gonna run the tractor out here, grab a round bale, take it out to the bulls. On my way back, I'm gonna grab some boards. We'll see if we can't build Joel Salatin's pig ramp. All right, folks, so the bulls are fed, and I just come back from the wood pile with some 2x6. So in the book, Polyface Designs, it calls for 12-foot long 2x8s to make a ramp that is 72 inches wide. The one that Justin Rhodes built, he did 60 inches wide, and he couldn't get 2x8s that day, so he used 2x6. We have 2x6, but we don't have any 12-foot. When Carmen made an auction win earlier this year, she purchased this lift of 2x6, 6-foot long, a very strange measurement, but we were like, well, what are we gonna do with this stuff? Well, there's 13 boards right there that we're gonna use to make the ramps. It's gonna be 6 feet long, 5 feet wide. The reason why it's so long, because you see the trailer's pretty low already, right, to the ground. But pigs, you know, typically they're not great climbers, right? You don't want more than a 25-degree angle, 25-degree incline for them to make their way up in the trailer. Otherwise, it's just gonna be a disaster. Roly-polies coming out of the trailer. Well, I don't know how big Joel Salatin's trailer is that he can fit a 72-inch ramp in the door. Well, obviously it would be 6 feet, but we don't have that big of a trailer, so we can only go with a 5-foot ramp. And that's gonna be an easy build, actually, because we literally just set these boards down right on the floor here, run 2 across and 1 at a 45, screw it all together, and done. So the one thing I love about this project is it's just a ramp, right? It's not like we're building a piano. We've only got, I think, 3 cuts to make in the whole thing, and the rest of it is just line it up, boom, 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 slam some screws. So fairly quick, fairly easy. Anybody can do it. laid out. This is how big it's gonna be. Next thing I'm gonna do, top brace, bottom brace, and an angle brace. Be a lot of screws, but let's get after it. All right, so I realized once I started screwing it together and I had to cut these two brace boards there, it's actually 55.5 inches, not 60 inches, and I wasn't gonna run a 2x6 down the table saw just to fit that 4.5 inches to make it a full 60 inches. Board length is what we get, so I just trimmed those two. Now I gotta do one at a 45-degree angle just to tie it all together so there's no sideward shifting as they go to crawl up there. And then we'll put a couple handles on, and this project is a wrap. Not that anybody ever lends me anything, but if you are gonna lend me something, two things you should never lend me: your gloves or your pen, because that's what I can't find my gloves and I cannot find my pen, and it's the same every single day. Never mind, I found it. It was right where I left it, in the bucket on the chicken plucker. Exactly where it belongs, right? Not in this handy dandy pen pocket on my coveralls or anything. All right, so I got the angle cut on here, and it's gonna drop down. It's gonna fit like a glove, I swear. I hope. In fact, if the fate of the world depended on my ability to make angle cuts, we'd all die. But let's see how it fits. If it's there. Close enough for me. All right, so there you have it. Ramp is done. I'm going to flip it over, drill 2 holes, put a couple handles on there, but for all intents and purposes, this is done. And for anybody who's wondering, this is also how you build a barn door. Very, very similar, just different orientation. All right, so in Joel Salatin's book, Polyface Designs, it says to drill a couple of holes in here, slip some rope through with a chunk of old garden hose as your handhold. Now, I don't have any just scrap garden hose kicking around, and I'm not really willing to sacrifice one for the cause. So we're just gonna drill the holes and run regular rope, tie knots in the end, and call this project a wrap. Just got our handles on there that I just drilled in. And later on this evening, actually, I will come out and I'm gonna put some sideways slats on here just to prevent any slippage as they climb. Again, we know the angle of approach is really, really low. But don't want anybody to slip coming out of the trailer. This thing is pretty unwieldy though, like it's heavy. Like I only had to pack it from basically the front of the tractor to there, and it was like, oh boy, when we do this for real, I'm gonna need help to get it lowered in and into position, and probably to get it out and get the door slammed on the trailer, it's gonna be just a matter of grabbing the bottom and yanking it out of the way and let's go. All right, some of you may remember last summer, we put together an old swing set that was reclaimed from another site, and we were really excited about it because it was gonna be this big treasure that for decades is gonna sit here, tons and tons of kids can play on it, it's gonna be awesome. Well, a big windstorm come through and we had this saucer swing on there, not wind friendly at all, and the wind absolutely just destroyed this thing, like turned it inside out. So I've just spent, 15 minutes here putting it back together, rebolting it all up, getting the mat and everything put in. And I'm gonna take it inside. Carmen had this great idea that, she had this great idea before we even put the swing set up, that this could be in our basement and would just be a fun thing for Charlotte to do, when the weather's kind of nasty outside and it's not too fun to go outside. So I'm going to take this inside, then I got to get the drill and some screws and a little bit of lumber and mount it up into the roof in the basement. All right, so it's now nighttime. I just grabbed a bucket of food scraps for the pigs. I'm going to run it out there, give them a snack before bed. It's going to be strange, here in literally 7 days from today, we're going to take the ramp that we built today, chuck it in the back of the horse trailer and load up them pigs and send them to the butcher. So it's going to be weird getting up in the morning and only having to feed chickens and check on the sheep and not have to go out to the pigs, but it's also going to be pretty nice to get up in the morning and eat bacon. So there's definitely a silver lining. Right, so we've had tons of folks wanting to know, what does it really cost to raise your own pigs on the farm? Well, I will say the pigs themselves were $75 when we bought them originally as piglets in the summer. We raised them over the summer all the way now till, what is it, the 20-something of January, right, end of January. And they've eaten, each pig has eaten about 2,000 pounds of feed, so a $300 bag of grain per pig. Now, what we don't know is what the butchering cost is going to be, because that's all dependent on what we want for cuts and stuff. But they're going down the road in a week, and I'll probably be at the butcher shop for a week, so we should know within 2 weeks exactly whether or not it was worth our while to do this. Anyways, I better run these snacks out to the piggies and get some feed prep for tomorrow morning. So I'll let you go for now. I hope you have a fantastic evening. See you tomorrow.